Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. What's up? What's up, y'all? What's up, morning? What's up, YouTube? What's up, world? Good morning. Welcome to this fine Wednesday edition. BS with B. Hannas. That's me. I'm Nikki B. Hannas. This is Good Morning B. Hannas. Little morning YouTube talk show action. I like to talk about what's going on in my life and what I'm thinking about, what's good, what I can say that might be useful or entertaining or helpful to other people or so on and so forth. The whole premise of this, I wake up, I'll take a nice walk, read some good stuff, talk to the people, go lift some weights when I'm done here, go to work, go about my business. It's a good life, man. It's a good life. Try and think, it's kind of like a diary. there's a there's a diary element to it. Maybe not as effeminate and corny as a diary, but maybe something with integrity and virtue like a journal, dare I say. But what's the difference? What's the difference except for the emotionality of it? I don't know. Who fucking cares? I like getting out of here and talking. So yeah, man, that's what the fuck. It's a Wednesday morning. It's rainy, it's shitty, but it's all good. Shoulder day today. Hundreds of reps. Front delt, center delt, rear delt, traps. We like shoulder day. High rep, high intensity, high speed with some fucking metal. Yeah, dude. It's all good. I don't have a whole lot to really talk about today. So I think I'll go into my readings. From this morning, from this fine morning. I love the daily readers. I love little small books with small passages meant to be read a little bit one day at a time, This is from As Bill Sees It, which is the AA way of life. Selected writings of AA's co-founder. Well, I thought Bill, I need to do more research, I guess. I thought Bill was the founder. Oh, well. Small difference. Splitting hairs. Today's piece was pretty cool. And I found it resonates with me. I found I identify with it. Today's is called Groping Toward God. Groping toward God. Like the blind man in a cave. He says that more than most people, I think, alcoholics want to know who they are, what this life is about, whether they have a divine origin and an appointed destiny, and whether there is a system of cosmic justice and love. Now, under the presupposition that I myself am an alcoholic, insofar as AA's definition of what an alcoholic is, I find that to be true. And for a long time, I didn't think I was that. I thought I just like to drink, man. Of course, sometimes it goes too far, of course. But, I'm not one of those people. The older and allegedly wiser I get, those people usually is like a mental defense mechanism. Oh, so you're one of those people? What the fuck you mean, those people? What do you mean, you people? That's fair. You shouldn't think collectively like that. And the idea that I understand as AAs when they talk about the alcoholic, it is the person who will drink themselves to death. It is the person who is compulsive, spontaneous, and obsessed with the drinking. And when I look back on my distinguished career of drinking, I was all those things, which prompted me to get sober. And by sober, I mean total abstinence. Not like, oh, I just drink, on occasion. It's like, nope, can't do it. Can't do it. Not even a cup of wine on fucking Christmas Eve or something. Can't do it. Ain't worth it. It ain't good. Because once I have one, I'll have two. And if I have two, why not have three or four? And once I get to three or four, might as well just get to six. And from there, who knows what happens? And that's the loop of insanity, which is what I found. So when he says here, more than most people, alcoholics want to know who they are, what this life is about, whether they have a divine origin and an appointed destiny, and whether there's a system of cosmic justice and love. That's what I look at least, as the human condition. I think you could apply that same thing to artists in any sense. More than most people, I think artists want to know who they are, what this life is about, whether they have a divine origin, an appointed destiny, and so on and so forth. And when you look in the artist world, there's a lot of Substance abuse. In my experience, I found there's way fewer sober people out there in the bars where the music is, in the galleries and strange places where art exhibitions happen. They're out there, but there's a lot of weed smoking mostly. And I guess you can make a case that there's a difference between weed smoking and beer drinking and hell raising or whatever. But not for me. Not for me. So anyway, Bill goes on to say, it is the experience of many of us in this early stage of drinking to feel that we have had glimpses of the absolute. The absolute there, he uses a capital A. I think that's a powerful rhetorical literary technique. Glimpses into the absolute. It's a different thing when that's a proper noun. What is the absolute? Who is the absolute? How do we catch a glimpse into the absolute? Interesting. It is the experience of many of us in the early stages of drinking to feel that we have had glimpses of the absolute and a heightened feeling of identification with the cosmos. Tapped in other words. While these glimpses and feelings doubtless have a validity, they are often deformed and finally swept away in the chemical, spiritual, and emotional damage wrought by the alcohol itself. I also found that to be very true, especially combining, when I was drinking, whatever that energy is, man. Once that drink, if you read like old Russian people, if you read Dostoevsky, they refer to the drunk as someone, oh, he was on the drink. He was on the drink. When he was on the drink, he was this. He could not get off the drink. They look at it like, at least in the translations, it's the drink. So that's fascinating. When you're on the drink, you get glimpses and feelings with validity into the absolute. It's like the chemical ascension. Is that the euphoria people talk about? When people use drugs or fucking drink or whatever. And it's so casual that it's almost like most people don't think that. You find that dude who just likes to drink beers and watch football. They don't think they're really tapping into the absolute. My experience, I didn't really drink beers and watch football. If I watched football, of course I was drinking beers, but I was fucking drinking beers anyway. Staring at the wall, searching for the absolute. Yeah, it's fascinating. And you get glimpses into it, man. You get inspiration. Inspiration does strike for people. That's why artists have that reputation. Musicians particularly. It fucking really kind of, as a younger dude at least, which is what he's talking about here, in the early stages, you feel on top of the world. You feel confident. You feel like you're locked into something. I can ascend and really go somewhere, cross the realms via my fucking electric guitar and this loud feedback, distortion, and the things I'm doing with my fingers. I'm fucking like tapped into the ethereal up here. All of a sudden, it's a whole different channeling kind of exercise, an artistic one. But to Bill's point, it is in pursuit of something bigger, which is the role of art anyway. But the emotional, like spiritual and I guess like psycho-emotional approach to it in the act of doing, at the moment of doing, very interesting. You get swept away. Yep. Those legitimate glimpses and feelings into the absolute get swept away by the chemical, spiritual, and emotional damage wrought by the alcohol itself. Yeah, I found that to be the case too. Very interesting. I don't even know when this was written. Oh, this is from, okay, it's at the bottom of the page. It says it was written. This is an excerpt from a letter written in 1960. So this was before Black Sabbath. This was before Jimi Hendrix. This was before Led Zeppelin and all that, which is when those gates socially kind of really opened. I mean, the famous stories of Santana at Woodstock tripping balls on LSD, or same with Jimi Hendrix, whatever. That really opened the gates for the music I love, that formed me, that really inspired me. Inspired in the spirit, that just wild balls to the wall, exploratory, throw yourself into it, see what happens. It's interesting. This guy knew this way ahead of time, which means there ain't nothing new under the sun, man. We all ain't that different. What the fuck you mean those people? As if you ain't one of those people. Anyway, he says and finishes this little excerpt. In AA and in many religious approaches, Alcoholics find a great deal more of what they were merely glimpsed and felt while trying to grope their way toward God in alcohol. I'll read that again without stuttering. In AA and in many religious approaches, alcoholics find a great deal more of what they merely glimpsed and felt while trying to grope their way toward God in alcohol. Yeah, it's interesting. I find creatively, which is where I'm clearly identifying with this little excerpt, you know, in terms of playing music or in terms of doing anything and just living and feeling and being present, all those things, the whole machine. Once I got clean, once I got sober of all that stuff, everything's better. Maybe at one point when I really thought I was tapped into something like a shaman or some sort. That's how it felt sometimes being on stage, leading the room, just ripping a mean fucking guitar solo, banging my fucking head, having everyone's at my, like, you're kind of summoning this fucking energy. It's very shamanistic in some ways. Whatever it was that I caught a glimpse of back in those days, it's different now, man. It's much more enjoyable now. It comes from a better place. And if it comes from a better place, it is a better thing. I don't think that's really up for debate. Maybe you could make it subjective. Well, it's just like your opinion, man. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. But if I got an opinion and I'm positing it as like a legitimate claim, well, let's have that argument then. You know what I'm saying? I would say it's way better now. And I think about even performing. It's like just looking at a drunk dude on stage. Oh, yo, Benny's getting after it. Look at him go. In my current sense, I'll be like looking at his eyes. But like, Bull, your eyes are so glazed over. You're not even here. Like, yeah, you're sick. You're good at what you do, maybe. Maybe if the fucking crowd loves you, maybe this, maybe that. But if I'm looking at the person and I'm like, damn, Bull is like smoked out. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of see through it a little bit. I have to work to not be judgmental and holier than thou about it, just because I'm not like that no more. Once upon a time, I was. So it's very interesting. I think if it comes from a better place, everything that results from it is just going to be better. That's like a no shit kind of thing to me. Which leads me to this other thing that I read today. Hold on one second. Leads me to this other piece. This is a small essay from Emmett Fox, who apparently was very influential on the founders of AA and the corresponding literature. Emmett Fox. This is a book called The Golden Key and 22 additional essays. So it's all just like little page long, quick, easy to digest, just little tidbits, little things, little bites of wisdom, just fast, right to the fucking head. Anyway, Emmett Fox, this is called Cause and Effect. Emmett Fox says that whatever you experience in your life is really but the outpicturing of your own thoughts and beliefs. It's all projections, man. Now, you can change those thoughts and beliefs, and then the outer picture must change too. The outer picture cannot change until you change your thought. Your real heartfelt conviction is what you outpicture or demonstrate, not your mere pious opinions or formal assents. Yeah, tell them. Tell them. That's the whole thing I talk about. What's going on out there? What's going on in here is what really fucking seems to matter. Shit, I could even spiral off that right now. What's going on out there? Epstein files, Donald Trump, World War III, mass surveillance, crushing debt, credits, fiscal slavery, stock market's down. I could do that forever. Motherfuckers make livings doing that, just ringing the bell of fear. Because when you're fucking afraid of what's out there, it fucks up everything in here. At the peaks of my drinking, I was worried about all those things. The Epstein files, Donald Trump, World War III, crushing slave labor-based economies and late-stage capitalism. Fuck, I can't deal with it. I just want to play my guitar and drink, but I'm too fucking broke because I can't stop fucking drinking. That's just me. Hey, man, that's just fucking me. That's just where I was with it. I was wrong for that. Poor thinking, incorrect thinking, dare I say. And I would argue exactly that. Incorrect thinking. Your outer picture cannot change until you change your thought. That's right. He goes on to say, convictions cannot be adopted arbitrarily, just because you want a healing. They are built up by the thoughts you think and the feelings you entertain day after day as you go through life. So, it is your habitual mental conduct that weaves the pattern of your destiny for you. And is this not just as it should be? Yeah. Habitual mental conduct, which implies the things you habitually and mentally construct, paradigms of life. Yes, sir. I found that to be the case. This dude is wise. Wise, man. And that's the question he asks. Is this not just how it should be? It is your habitual mental conduct that weaves the pattern of your destiny for you. Yes, sir. And then he finishes it by saying, so no one else can keep you out of your kingdom or put you into it either. Ain't no one gonna help you. Motherfuckers can kind of show you things. Maybe if you listen to fucking Uncle Benny out here, Uncle Nicky Bihanas in the morning, and yo, Unc, maybe I got something wise to say. Maybe. Who the fuck knows? Because I've listened to a lot of people. I've read a lot of people. And what's the difference? Listening, reading, one with your ears, one with your eyes. Well, there's an old saying, something about let them have eyes to see and ears to hear. And if the message is received, it's up to you what you do with it. That's what I found, man. I found all that to be very, very true. And if I close my shit off, if I got the fucking rose tinted glasses of being wasted, I ain't going to see nothing worth seeing. Because what propels me to be in that position in the first place? Everything in here ain't good. Nothing in there is good. So how in the fuck can anything good come from it? You get glimpses though. That's what Mr. Bill said. You catch glimpses. And maybe it's not all terrible. It's not all fire and brimstone. Sometimes it just ain't that serious. But over a long enough period of time, this is the stuff that I'm finding is very true. This is the stuff I'm finding is very true. Habitual construction. That's what it is. That's what life is. The present tense seems to be the culmination right now of fucking everything that went into right now. And whatever comes next is the logical continuation of what goes into what happens next. Very simple. Very simple. No shit. What a cunning insight. Well, when you really break it down, I guess a lot of people don't really even think this way, It comes down to awareness, I guess. If you're one of those dudes that just floats through life, like I got one of my other daily books, 365 Days with Self-Discipline by Martin Meadows. I've quoted some of his stuff in here. Some of it's very insightful, useful, kind of out of the box thinking. But other stuff is like the rudiments, like the very basics. His chapter today was like on the unforeseen costs of sitting down. And the whole gist of it is like, I got, whatever. It's if you're sitting down, you're burning less calories, but your appetite stays the same. So you might be consuming too much. Why don't you try a standing desk, for example? Try walking around the office during lunch. And to me, it's like, well, no shit, idiot. Whoa, really smart. Wow. But a lot of people, maybe everyone starts at level one. Everyone starts at level one. Everyone starts fucking knowing nothing. And if you're conditioned or whatever into just being this proverbial person that just floats through existence and you ain't do shit, you are that dude who wakes up when you have to, sits in traffic, listens to garbage, goes to work, hates the job, like just floats your way through it, comes home, gets a pizza, watches Netflix, rinse, repeat, go to sleep. You are that dude. I guess there's a lot of people actually like that. I don't like to think that people are like that because that's a very like pessimistic view on people. Fucking hey, people are people. Everyone's different. Everyone's special. Everyone's got something. The NPC, as they call it online. I wonder how many people are actually non-playable characters. They're just, well, you're just a husk of a human. There's nothing inside you. You don't have any feelings. You don't have any love. You don't have family. Shut the fuck up. People are people. There's a word I learned. A word I learned a long time ago. The word is called sonder. Sonder. And I don't really know how to use it in a sentence, but the gist of it is that when you see a bunch of people, every single one of them has their own lived experience and their own history. They were once a child. They were once this. They have their loves. They have things that they hate. They have things that they enjoy. They have things that they like. Big, distinct, important memories. And, it's just a different way of looking at it. How much faith do you have in people, I guess? I don't know. What they show us on TV and shit gives us none. When you read some of this, even like the self-help, self-discipline, and self-development stuff, there's a lot of it that's like comparing you, who you are, to them, those people. And, at some level, fuck those people. I'm right there with you. Fuck those people. But if I'm like tapping into my wisest self, my most reasonable self, that shit just ain't reasonable. So I don't know. That's what the fuck I got today on this fine Wednesday morning. It's time to go bust out some shoulders. Thank you for hanging out with me. It's been a fine Wednesday edition of BS with Hannas. I'm Nicky B. Hannas. You can find this on YouTube. I go live on YouTube at BS with Hannas. I shoot it out to Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, Amazon Podcast, iHeartRadio. So go to those, whatever you use. If you like this shit, sub on it there. If you want, they do have a like button here. I don't really care about that. They do have a hit the bell and subscribe button on YouTube. I don't really care about that. But yeah, options there. So that's his channel, BS with Hannas. I got another YouTube channel at Nicky B. Hannas. It's more music oriented. Some live footage up there, some music videos, backing track jam along sessions where I'm just fucking playing my guitar. For example, it'll say surf rock track in F sharp. And I'll say, I like surf rock. Let's rip some shit in F sharp. Boom. One take. Send it. You can find my music, studio music, at nickybhannas.com, nickybhannas.bandcamp.com, Nicky B. Hannas on all streaming services. There's a good amount of music out there, including the newly released live record. Just live fucking furious heavy blues metal. So it's a lot of fun. I like doing that more than I like talking, but the more I talk, the more I start to really enjoy it. What else is there? I write a little bit. It's been a while since I've written, but that's out there on a Substack account, nickybhannas.substack.com. And I think that's all my plugs. You can find them all streamlined into one specific feed, patreon.com/Nicky B. Hannas. Check it out for free. I don't fucking care. There is a couple options on there to support. You want to throw me some bucks, support the mission. What's the mission? Talk some shit. Maybe it's useful. Maybe it's helpful. Maybe it's insightful. Maybe it's just funny. Maybe you just don't fucking like this dude with sunglasses on in this fucking studio with the flags behind him and shit. That's all good. It's all out there for you. Do what you want with it. Anyway, keep it real. One love. Happy Wednesday. Wrong path. Nicky B. Hannas. I'm out. Peace. Think about it.